Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Delhi Mughals series. Well, originally it was Delhi, but today it's known as the Mughals, in case you forgot. So the Mughal Empire, even though historically it was formed in 1525 or 1526. Hold on, I'll look it up just to correct myself. But anyways, it was formed in this playthrough in 1488, so 40 years earlier than the actual formation of the Mughal Empire. Even though there are players who play this game for a living that have formed the Mughal Empire much, much earlier than I have. Like say around 1448 or 1450 something. They've done it earlier. Usually it's done by the Timurids, but not many people do that from Sirhind to Delhi to Mughals. I mean, the Delian missions and ideas were good and all, but Mughals is way better in terms of when all the ideas are founded, that some experts would consider this as overpowered. So the Mughal Empire was formed in 1526, so you were over there. You almost got it right. You said 1525 first, so get the idea. Anyways, we're ready for war, even though our manpower's not at the max, but we have the numbers for it. But as far as land force is concerned, we could just have another army if we want to. But I think we would do that once we take this area first, and then we'll be considered either expanding this army, which I can see that happening, while forming a third along the way. And as far as government is concerned, since we have the people up here, who are these called? Paharis. Pahari, then eventually we will meet the Nepali, and then further down we go Bihari, Bengali, and eventually Oriya. If we were to unite all the Eastern Aryan peoples, assimilate, we should say, we would get production efficiency. But it would be nice to unite all the Hindustani culture, which we can get it done. But that's only if you have to deal with both Jaunpur and Malwa. Kalanjar too. Who is interestingly also allied with Surmur. Surmur, which we also have a permanent claim to, so perhaps a few more small wars before the big one. Knock out another one of Jaunpur's allies, just to ease the burden, so to speak. I mean, they're not involved in what they're doing. So that's an idea, but Ladakh first. Kashmir, the entirety of the area. This first, for Hindustan. Again, all these areas that are highlighted there, gotta have it. If you complete it, you will have more development in Delhi, in our capital, as it's been developed enough. And that means I would also begin the Bengal campaign. We're nowhere near of getting this yet. Let's see. So we plan on accomplishing this mission first, which it'll be good for Lahore, which is another one of the major cities of the area. It's a farmland, home of the silk. Reduces state maintenance. And then maybe we'll go up to the Afghan frontier. All provinces in the good area, which is down there. That's going to take a while to go to all these places. And the level influence has to be 60. And you get this. Ooh boy. Well then. But we don't want to betray Mall right now. They're still going to be used for the finishing off what's left of Jaunpur by taking all the relevant areas that we need. But Ladakh comes first. It's drilled enough. So stop that right now. And begin to move in position starting in Bera. You will be on standby. Let's get a new general right now, as we know that Malik Hussein's 59. He isn't going to be around for long. Alaman Singh. Oh, come on. That's the same amount of skills as Malik Hussein. You'll be in this army here. At least he's younger, but basically same type of general. Let me look here. Has at least 2 vassals and 2 marches. That's something I need. I need another vassal. Just looking around the map, see who's suitable. Tell you what, if we ever eliminate Jaunpur from the map, I might have to vassalize you. Or unless the Dads turn up and just say, hey, we want you to subjugate this country. And I'm like, okay, we'll subjugate that one. Become a vassal. I cannot imagine the smaller one province miners to become a Mughal vassal. Bangladesh has a use of it because of Sikhism there, so this little army could pack up a punch when supported with the Mughal army. So wish they had the ability, but that's wishful thinking. The ability to transfer vassalage if a vassal is disloyal to its overlord and is willing to transfer themselves, just like an Imperator Rome, but that cannot happen. No way. Looking. Things. Idea. Anyways. Yes? Nice sword, Vijayanagar! What do you think you're doing? You're outnumbered. I didn't realize who we were up against. Don't you know they're besieging a fortress? If I conquer Jaunpur in future, despite our religious differences, you and I are going to be good friends for a while. I could see that. And you are also allied with Bengal. And why aren't you helping them? No manpower. This is what this is about. That can't be good. In fact, real question is, what are you doing up here? Hired by Jaunpur. Why would you do that? You're a potential ally and you are screwing yourself over. One more month. Well, I don't know, because, you know, the winter up there. Can we wait till spring? That's all you did to them? You just pillaged them? You just want that development, do you? You rat fink. See? Mild winter. Don't even think about going up there when there's winter such as that. Pillaged. Yeah, they brought some of that development up because they done pillaging. Just makes you think it's a place to be. So I'll start the war at March. And do not forget to build a mosque here, because that's what the ulama want, so be it. Makes very little difference of income. We ain't afraid of them. Move in. Take Kashmir. That's the war goal here. Can use Muslim party interaction. Oh, it's at the max, so we could enforce favorable heritage to move us towards mysticism, but impact corruption by -2. This is for corruption reduction. This one is increased manpower. Oh dang, that's good to know. Fire, does it say something about subjects? Non-tributary subjects. What if I were to make them a subject instead of conquering them? Even though we will integrate them one day. Having them as a vassal, because, you know, I'd like to have 2, so that way I can give a... so that way I can have strong duchies, which gives me 2 more diplomatic relations. This is just, you know, due to my experience from Croatia. Because I cannot imagine myself, you know, governing all of this. Despite the permanent claims there, but it would be better to bait up on Ladakh, make them be, vassalize them, so we get 2 vassals. And then mission complete. Correct? Correct. You're on standby. This old general's gonna go up and deal with them. There you are. Split up. One goes here. Another goes there. And another goes here. Stays here. There you go. Move up. I should just stick around. Supply limit. We'll help you out in a moment. The system. Good too. Now unite the rest. You're on border watch now. The Sikh army is with you. It's just my issue is I don't need any more Kashmiri separatists. It would be best for me to vassalize them, because having two vassals is better than one. Like that old saying, two heads are better than one. Not interested in conquering them. We'll integrate them in a much, much later time. Even though these guys are Buddhists. Morale of armies up a bit. Well, every little bit helps. Whereas we humble Sunni are just at cavalry infantry ratio. Every little bit helps. Don't make me go up there. Just in case. Because we could take them out all easily, but winter campaigns are a bit costly. Ladakh's fallen. New madrasa. Prominent citizens of Bundelkhand have made a number of charitable donations for the establishment of a new madrasa in Kalpi. They have invited scholars from not only the wider Bundelkhand, but also from Delhi and even foreign theologians. Wonderful. If you wish to take advantage of this. Wish I had a little more missionaries, but you could, you know. Oh wow. That is a heck of a feature. Expansionist zealotry. That sounds like what we operate. And we need those morale armies, but that's only at war with heretics or heathens. Like what we're up against now, but not right now. I know it's kind of early, but how'd you like to become a vassal? Not now. Very well. That's gonna cost you your lives. This is a stupid idea because we're having a normal winter. Going up to glacial areas like in Ladakh. It's Arctic up there. Same here. And then we begin to make our campaign. And all the way to Lhasa, which they'll offer very little resistance. But we're going. You can come up if you wish. No access. That leads to here. Yeah, we'll take the attrition hit. This'll do. Because we already got a general, but land maintenance reduction modifier is very, very good as much as we like to make money, but we plan on expanding our forces after this conflict. And it also would be wise to get this as well. Too many relations, that's why. Because of access. Base 1 tax in Old Town. A little bit of development. 3 years. Yes, we're taking quite a bit of attrition penalty because we're walking across the Arctic. I see no enemy army for whatever reason. They have no fort other than a temple. There they are. What's the development? 18. Decent. Ripe for pillaging, I might add. Don't even think about it. I'm moving in. Going in after him. Malik Hussein died of old age. While he never flinched in the face of danger, it was old age that eventually got to him. Our troops will greatly miss his attention to their safety. Of course, shall miss him. Well, we have artillery in this army. That's mainly effective against their infantry. Whereas this one does not have artillery. But could possibly be added at a later time. I see. Next. Now, why is it we cannot convert to Delhi? Missionary strength is lacking. Dog pile. Get everybody over here. We gotta bring it down together. We're missing a general. Holy Christmas. We know a lot about Indonesia now. We have discovered the rest of China, Korea, Japan, Mongolia, all these lands. Plus, I don't know why you said Holy Christmas in exclamation. But you get the idea. 35%. Okay, we got our general here to assist. Now please bring it down, come back home, and we'll start crushing the separatists. Son of a beeswax, a disease outbreak. Not a single breach, which I would have assaulted with those kind of numbers and the amount of manpower reserves we have. What have you been doing? Ally with the Timurids. Who? Oh. But I do not like the fact they have Transoxiana with them. But remember, you're next. And you're gonna be a vassal, because there's still some use to these Buddhists, thanks to their slightly higher morale of armies. And it's the morale of armies is something that we lack in our army. Your capital will be pillaged, and that development's gonna go back to Delhi. How much is that in inflation? Very little. This is a separate piece, correct? Yes, sir. Now get the heck home. I'm buying a bit of time till we reach Parang, so that way the access to the land. Taking my sweet time. Yeah, we'll vassalize them, and then they'll be integrated one day. So I can give a privilege to the nobles. Alright, now. We're not here to conquer. It did say vassalize. That uses up more diplomatic power. More aggressive expansion. And I don't need all the money right now. Although that's very little. But the peace costs remain the same. So, it's good. But if you become disloyal, don't make me destroy you. Mission complete. Till the end of the game, Lahore is the place to be for production efficiency and state maintenance production. As we have that, you know, that old edict there. So now we'll have the permanent claims of Sindh, Ghor, Sistan, Herat, Balkh, and Kabulistan. If you wish to go to either the Afghan frontier or to begin the Sindh campaign, which means that we will have to betray our allies one day. As I still got a bone to pick with Jaunpur, but first, I'm gonna take out their allies. And then you're next. Simple as that. And we have our help as well. Do that. As a reminder. All of this. And then all of that. Gee, with that kind of money, we could build a manufactory for more local goods produced, but that's for these, if you wish to. But wait for everybody to come back. You become Sunni. Good to know. Make it easier for you to integrate one day. Oh, yes. There you are. Gives you more loyalty, more influence. Does not affect crownmen. But more diplomatic relations. There you have it. Oh, we'll deal with them soon enough. Salt crisis. Rumors are sweeping the country that there's been a shortage of salt production. Though we try to quash these rumors, people are certain there will be a salt crisis soon. We will have to live with this for the next 2 years. It's part of Lahore, so... Not yet there yet. But we're starting to pick it up a bit. And as for these rebels, bring it on. We'll be stationed here. And then because since we're going to be expanding more towards the Himalayan hills, so simply for the sake of it, we'll make it to a state. Cheap. Should be stationed in Sirhind, so you don't take a river crossing penalty when dealing with them. Yes? Well, you are my vassal, so it's fine. It's all legal. We'll bring it on. We're gonna come up there and take you out, and then Kaman will be next. So what's the land force limit again? Yeah, we could definitely expand the army here. Like say, like this should be having artillery just like with this one. In that case, give me one more 3, 4, 5, 6 cavalry. So that's 4 in total. Which, keep in mind, cavalry is a Mughal specialty, and historically, they view cavalry as being the most prestigious part in the Mughal army. Yeah, we're spending our newfound money on a huge amount of manpower, whatever we have. Well, huge is an understatement, but you get the idea. Yeah, give it one more cavalry. As I said, Mughal specialty. Don't get the artillery yet because we're about to go into combat with that uprising that's about to occur in Kangra. Want to stick together? Thank you. Now, anyway, sale of titles. My lord, one of your advisors suggests selling off noble titles to anyone who could afford to pay. Could bring in lots of money and open way for social advancement of rich. For the rich if we do. But it would devalue the idea of the nobility and perhaps upset the existing aristocratic family. Should we do this? Well, I do admit that I have a lot of land, and I could, you know, give it away to some of the estates. They'll all be loyal. Sell 10% of crown land to these states, but the land control in my states changes, so the Mansabdars would be not too disloyal. Jains will like it. But everybody will like it if I do this option anyhow, so. But if I do this, then... Well, the Jains will still be low no matter what, but stability is a must. Also, what? Oh no, you're thinking of some... Doing very well in the Regency years. That's all I gotta say. It's a wonder how the country's been expanding under her regency. But as soon as he turns 15 and takes up the throne, well then, we're gonna have a more capable ruler for this sort of thing. Which I'd be very, very happy to. There's no corruption here yet. But there's a lot of taxation and technology cost reduction and all that. The promoted cultures thing is irrelevant. So, selling 10% of my titles. Well, if I get a little more of this in the meantime, I'd be considered selling the titles. And everybody will be happy. Especially these guys. What can I do for you? Let me look. Just more loyalty, but less on absolutism. Oh no, don't do that. Because I'm all about religious unity these days. Let's look at it. But if you really want to go get all the way down, then to go back to this way, I'll consider. Well, right now we're expanding the army. One of the armies, anyhow. Should just say the military if you're going to use that general term. Good on you. Because we still need you. Come on, I dare you to break out. I've just noticed something. As we are increasing the size of the army, and these potential separatists that we'll also have to deal with, but I just noticed Malwa down there. Just based on its positioning, they look like they're mobilizing a direction towards Jaunpur. I don't want Malwa to start the war because they'll be the war leader and do all the negotiating around here, but I'd rather be the one to start the war, so that's the way it's going to be then. And I just thought of something to boot. Regarding, you know, corruption and all. Religious unity and piety. Since it says impact corruption by -2. And since we got all this great money, why don't we just debase the currency, which will give us even more ducats, but increases corruption. So we get this free amount of money, and knowing declaring war against a fellow Sunni Muslim, that means we'll move towards mysticism. And I would like to go back to mysticism to increase missionary strength and morale of armies and all that, knowing that we're going to be in a major war. So there you go. Faith inheritance enforced. Even though it's going to be a long way to get back over there, but date-based currency just to get a few more coins out of it. Sucker. But anyways, the money. What to do with it? I mean, for one, I would like to increase the land force limit, knowing the more territories we gain, the bigger our armies will get. To the point where soon the Mughal army will be, the Mughal military will be, well, the army of the invincible, so to speak. I mean, not just one of it all. So, maybe a few regimental camps will do. So, one there, another in Selkut, and one more there. And we need a new general, as one is already assigned. Think of an interesting name. Okay, Murad Shah Singh. There you go. That's an easy to pronounce for some people who are non-Islamic or non-Indian. Particularly you Western viewers that are watching. And he is no shock, but little more fire and a bit of maneuver. Now keep in mind that maneuver is a movement speed. Increases trade power when on a trade mission. That applies to navies. More like 5, but a little more fire, which is, you know, that's for the fire phase of combat. In part, so. And after all, it's Indian arquebusiers, which is just offensive fire 1. Man, our generation's generals aren't as good as they used to be back in the olden days of the Delhi Sultanate. But we must move towards the direction of Jaunpur, because that will be the main objective. I will be the one to start that war. Before we do that, I thought about, with this amount of land that I got, and thinking whether or not I should give it away or save some of it. But I am reminded, far down the line, this possibility of this somewhere. Where is it? This. General land assessment. Land owned by the crown be at least 50%, but... and the development's not up there yet. When our country gets bigger, I think we should have to worry about that. I think you do have to give away to somebody. Of course, who would it be? Because I'm willing to give away some crown land, hopefully not too much. Let me see that. Loyalties up for all, and their influence as well. Supremacy over the crown. Estates can pursue agendas that we... oh! I'd rather have things for myself. That'll be too much out of conscience. Recruiting leaders adds nobility influence. What about the Rajputs? Aren't they similar? We would lose army tradition. So, enlisting them gives them more influence, and lose some crownland. That's what I mean. I'm willing to give away a bit of land to somebody. Enlist Perbius. So I think that's the likely one. Because the first army, the one with 20,000, has a few Rajput regiments. So keep in mind, that increases a bit of land fire damage, so we need some extra firepower. But of course, that affects only Rajput regiments. Before I do that, finally. No, damn it. This one. You could increase a few more if you wish to, but since hostilities is about to begin, that's something we'll have to consider. But for now, give it to them. Because I'd like to have a little bit more influence because of fort maintenance reduction. There you have it. Because keep in mind, this has 3 Rajput regiments, so now they have a bit of extra firepower. Even though the army won't be as drilled as they used to, but down the line, when we slowly increase armed professionals more and more by drilling everybody. And then eventually when we create the 3rd army, then that's the army that the monarch will take charge as soon as he grows up. Or if you wish, get another general. And hopefully he'll be around long enough because we have the advantage in discipline. So now war is declared against Jaunpur. Jaunpur is the target. Malwa and Bengal shall come. Not Sindh, because they're too weak and they're in debt, which I doubt they'll contribute very little. So this is a challenging bit. We can easily overwhelm Jaunpur, while Bangladesh and Ladakh, my newest vassals, will back me up. But we would also have to deal with the Transoxianian front, the Afghan front, so to speak, because they'll take these areas and possibly go up there as well. But once they get to road, then that's the area that we'll have to drive them out. But the problem is that these guys are tenacious. Which again, Transoxiana has 10,000 deployed, but more could come. Jaunpur and Gujarat are the biggest contributors. Milwat, right next door, is always that little pain in the ass that always gets me. But when we eliminate Jaunpur, then we'll consider taking them as a vassal or just conquer them. But it's a game of one-upsmanship of one another. So we have to focus on 2 fronts. We're sending this army to try to take as much land as possible and give none in return to Malwa or Bengal. They don't seem to mind one bit. But personally, I'd rather see them eliminated. So let's do this. Stand still, because cavalry regiments will be coming. And if there's any uprisings, put them down before the Transoxianians realize what we're up to. Passing through. Oh, and by the way, just forgot. What's happened to you? You could be my potential ally, but now we're going to have a bit of a hard time dealing with Malwa. Guess they were in the middle of drilling. They weren't ready for war. One minute. Assemble. Advance. Hey, that's my area to take. Scram. Well, they're not bordered with them, so technically they... Born in the saddle. Cavalry flanking ability. Good to know, now that you got your new cavalry regiments. This way. They're going away. Take them out. Don't let them run. Army eliminated. Murad Shah Singh is a hardy warrior. We take less land attrition. Ideal for sieges. Take the capital. I don't know how drilled they are, but based on their positioning, well, we gotta scare them out of there. I only see 3/4 of the match. Take these three, knock them out of the war. I'm sure they pay well in war reparations. And I have administrator for now. They took it over. I don't know if it's wise for you. But you got the artillery, you got the guns. But they have very little. But they are increasing in size, so it would be best to take them out now while we can. And take areas like Kish. Controlling Kish would be a priority, because it's a mountainous area. If they try to take it, we can definitely beat them on the high ground. Remember these claims that you must acquire. Lower Doab, Varanasi, Ghazipur, Jaunpur, Gorakhpur, and Barak. These are areas that we must take. Oh yeah, they're gonna have to deal with Gujarat. I forgot about Gujarat. That one's also a potent nation. We're not moving fast enough, because moving this big body of troops doesn't... Highlands, river crossing. That'd be -2. That gives them in a good position to be in the defense, but... I wouldn't do that if I were you. Just... Of course they're teasing us. As long as they're out of the mountains, it will be good. Because it's a place that we need to hold, take a stand, and then we're good. We'll never take Kish unless the army isn't present. But backup should be coming, hopefully. In fact, let me see. Damn, really? I forgot that, you know, I have a habit of carpet sieging, but there's autonomous carpet sieging. That's how that works. Should do that against weaker countries. Thank you. They ain't budging. If we go up there, it'll be suicide. mountainous terrain. But a little more backup would be good. So now that front's going to be considered a stalemate at this point. Fort level is 3, but too bad we don't have one who specializes in sieges. And also, I believe this is also the first war that we're not using mercenaries, as we had a habit to in earlier campaigns, but not now. We're just going to rely on ourselves, if we can. Can't go here. To try to go straight to Samarkand, which would be the easiest thing in the world, because there's no fort here, but Kish they do, so they know their crown well. They know the country. Thank you for giving it to Mughals. We know we have a permanent claim in that area. Give none in return. It's going to take a bit longer than expected because it has a fort, unlike the previous smaller wars that the Mughals had to fight. Honestly, I'm gritting my teeth for this because it makes me want to ask them for military access just to get around, take Samarkand, knock their capital down. Even though that would also open the door to this way. I think that'll be the better option. Go around it. Nope, we cannot move in. Hostile fort. Kish. We have no explorers, so... Hey, it's good to know that we have a place to retreat to. So... Nope, there's only one way in, but... I'm not confident at the ability. Because discipline versus morale, and the leader is careful. That's another thing that's problematic. Also, 3, 1, 2. 2, 1, 2. Born in the saddle, which gives more cavalry combo. We have slightly more cavalry to do. We have a bit more of the artillery, but what difference does that make? I'm sure it will, because we're using Hofnitze, which is a... yet again, show you. More towards the offense, little on defense. But I think we may have to withdraw instead. Crap. You have the mountains. Homeland's in danger. Okay, they're engaging them. Looking good. Diet. Okay, few months. They're not increasing their size. You don't mind, right? Hey, forget about earlier. Let's ask the Timurids instead so we can get around them and try to take that fort instead. You know, just for starters. Just to get them off their position. Because we're trying to figure out how to flank around them. And I am not letting this army go until it's fully besieged. All the areas that we have claimed is the areas we have to take. Come here. We have access. Head to Merv. Turn around. Two could play that game, huh? He lost influence. They're gonna have the mountains soon. We'll get a crossing penalty. And they'll have the mountains. Damn! They're not stopping. Again, this big body of troops that we're moving. Plus, maneuver 2. Maneuver 2, okay. But the smaller they are, the faster they are. I see. Just keep them away from now. Wait a minute. Home free. Go to Kish. Get that fort. That's the most important one. If they're transferring it to another front, so be it. We're out of time, so go ahead. Yes. The Mughal lemma is too easily influenced by the trends and politics of the world outside of India. Let us gather the most influential men of our faith in our lands to proclaim our Padshah the foremost authority in all legal matters. Reduction of national arrest. Good. Now all I need is a national bank, so we don't have to worry about this. Inflation idea anymore, even though it's slowly declining thanks to our advisor, as we don't have a gold mine yet. How's your manpower looking? Gujarat's starting to run out of steam a little. Transoxians are quite fresh, but we're soon gonna take one of the forts, hopefully, just to say, haha, we outsmarted you, but not quite. But there could be potential trouble on the home front. If we can bring this fort down, Bengal will finally assist us. Profiteering in Lucknow. Citizens of Lucknow have grown tired of the local influence of the greedy wealthy merchants that they claim are using unfair advantages to outcompete local businesses. They demanded we stop the limited influence of foreign traders on the area and reaffirm the privileges of our merchants and artisans. If we do not act, they might take matters in their own hands. Protect the trade. Egads. I thought she was a good one. But just wait 2 years, and that won't be an issue anymore. What ideas do they have? Are they defensive? No. Transoxianians in our land. Take Kish. As soon as Kish falls, return. Throughout his career, Hassan Shah Rahidun has left a strong impression on everyone he has met or worked with. From his time as a promising student to his rise up positions of increasing responsibility, he has consistently done well and found new solutions to whatever problems he has faced. It is clear, however, that someone of his background, both as a commoner and as a Hindu, he has now reached as high as he can come. It would raise quite a few eyebrows to have a man, no matter how talented, assume the highest offices of the state with such a background. A good advisor? A military advisor. Potentially. I'll be willing to take a prestige hit, knowing that this is a major war, and we'll have plenty of prestige gained by knocking these guys out of the war. But we'll put him in whenever our old advisor dies. soon as Jaunpur falls, take the rest of the land as much as we can. But we'll be able to get Kish before they get Sirhind, hopefully. Even though it's a big body of troops that we have to move. Hindu zealots. The one we're converting? Yeah. Don't worry about them. We'll get them later. We're in the positive now. Okay, they were withdrawing. Things are not looking good on that other front. But looking good on this side here, but... yeah, we need to definitely get together. Jaunpur has fallen for about 600 days. It will always be land acquisition. Knowing that what we're going to be doing in future. Jaunpur has fallen. Hopefully they'll withdraw from that front line and they'll try to retake their homeland again. While we will take, the rest of this countryside for ourselves of the areas that we have legitimate claims to. But Kish must fall. It'll be good to have, but I'm saving it. Finally, Bengali troops are assisting at defeating the Transoxianians. Good work. All we need is take Kish and then Samarkand, and then we have it secured. Knock them out of the war. Pay war reparations to us. We'll have a ruler soon. Regency will soon come to an end. What's his claim? 100? Good. Of course good. Now Varanasi, then Lord Duab, and we win. But not yet. Kish has not fallen, but Samarkand sure will. The front is starting to stabilize a bit. And they'll pick off any stragglers. Move in. Don't forget Gujarat. I assume they went back home. Come on, fall. Fall, Kish, fall. Water shortage. Okay, this next one certainly will. We should get rid of these guys too. We do have a permanent claim in that area. But that's another annexation. But I believe we could deal with that in the Surmul War. To fight another one of these small wars. And I think we should help out with dealing with Gujarat soon. It's got a castle, so they'll definitely hold out. Much like how we try to get this, and it took a while. Do we need another 2 years in our conscience? What happened to you? Vijayanagars connected the lands. You are damaged goods. Kish will soon fall. And in the meantime, shall we take our time to get this? I mean, I think they got it secure. Yeah, might as well. They'll deal with Gujarat. Kish has fallen. Alright. If they attempt to retake Kish, we're gonna go up there and kick them out. Any attempt to try to retake their territory will beat them up. I like how I keep using the words beat them up as if they owe something. What's going on? Khorasani reconquest of at war with Khorasan and Baluchistan. And Khorasan at war with Sistan, Transoxiana, and Sindh. Good to know. Oh, I think we may have a new task for you to deal with Hindu zealots. That they're going to ruin the country a bit. But Samarkand is to fall. Yep. We're withdrawing. We'll get him later. Who's that? Khandesh. Because of the fort there, no effect. Move up. Glad you're standing still. Samarkand's about to fall soon. Bastards, they put up a well done fight. What, we ain't scared? Well, we were trying to convert this area, so that's interrupted now. Oh, it's time. With the union of Humayun and Mumtaz, we've gained not only a spouse, but also a new ally in the realm. The Khilji is an old, influential family, and their seat in Sajadawal is a jewel of the empire. Of course, friendship has to go both ways. Mumtaz will be expected to speak for her kin, while our Padishah will be expected to consider such advice carefully. To everlasting friendship. Good skills. The heir, Jahandar Shah. Average to good. And heaven forbid that our monarch should die young, and let her take over. Even better news, Samarkand has fallen. And Humayun is calm. So reduce stability cost modifier. Which is something that we need more of far in the future, if need be. Alright, Transoxiana, your war is over. What's your development? 30! Well, after all, it's the center of the Silk Road, one of the biggest trade cities there is. And it's the home of the trade node of Samarkand. Well then. Okay. So. Of course it is. Now, how much is that aggressive expansion penalty just to pillage your city? They'll lose 6 development, and we will gain 4. Pay attention to those in detail. It'll be 11. Okay. And then war reparations. Because you pay good money over there. I assume. And all the money that you can afford. Yes, that increases inflation, but don't worry, once we get national banks, inflation will be out of our minds sooner or later. But in actuality, we'll be getting 73. Fair amount. And good luck with your other war. Move out. Oh hell, we better move out soon. Take this area back. Sure thing. As we already kicked the tail of the Transoxianian. Noble rebels, son of a beeswax. Okay, you say. Jaunpur Lord about not all claims. Let me open up to remind myself. Jaunpur Lord Dab. Varanasi. Gazipur. Gazipur. Where's Gazipur? Need that. Until we get a favorable peace deal. And also Gujarat has to be dealt with, and they're about to be dealt with very soon. Go, go, go. Head to Jaunpur immediately, in case something occurs. And we're on our way as well. As you were. Now we're gonna start over again. The poor of Jalalabad. As cities grow, the old amenities and walls that once supported them decay, and Jalalabad, this time is led over to change. Less clean workshops, such as those of tanners, have moved beyond the city walls, as have the cemeteries. Most visible, however, is the increasing number of poor in the streets. As existing charities have not been able to keep up with the rapid growth of the city, oh hell, as existing charities have not been capable of rapid growth of the city, it's been suggested that we set aside more state power as mock charitable donations to upkeep of public soup kitchens and bathhouses. We will naturally support such a cause. Have a bit more prestige. Even though we're not getting much in victories. The Sheikh ul Islam. As the armies march on the way. Where the Qadis and judges of the land, the Muftis are the ones that to provide the general legal interpretation of doctrine. The empire as large as ours, however, needs an overarching authority of all Muftis. Traditionally, this is the role of the Sheikh ul Islam. The Sheikh ul Islam will not only author the fatwas himself, but also be the one to appoint many regional Muftis in our realm. Ultimately, he is the person who will safeguard the legality of the Padishah's edicts. Naturally, the man we picked will belong to the Hanafi, but there are a number of distinguished candidates to choose from. Well, I'm not planning on taking Patliputra. That's going to be for another campaign. To finish off what's left of Jaunpur. Legitimacy is fine, but of course, let us elect the foremost and most loyal Mufti position. Have a little more national tax modifier. Good news. The skillful man, with more military skill than the others. But he's a bit pricey then. So you better open up those pockets very well. The opposite of my mother. Great. Continue. Humayun and Hindavi people. The accession of Humayun has been very well received by the Afghan people in our empire, but the Hindavi viewed our new Padishah with some distrust. To them, he is in many ways a man of strange customs and foreign mannerisms. They'll learn to love me in time, which is bad. That's why we have to stay calm. You are the man of stability. Gujarati capital has not fallen yet, but we could get them to peace out just to make things easier for favorable negotiations. All I would want is to pay war reparations. No aggressive expansion. They are a pretty valuable country. Jaunpur will be gone by then in future. Yeah, just war reparations and money. Because I know what I'm going to do with that newfound wealth of our defeated enemies. Their capital will be spared. Unless it was taken already and I didn't pay attention, because I tend to forget what is the capital of Gujarat. It's this one. Yeah, do it. Yeah, we can end it right now with this war. Before they take any more gains. One day later. Okay. Look, here's what I really want. Jaunpur, Ladakh, Varanasi, Gazipur. But Barak would be missed, but coalition may form against me, and that's Jaunpur, which you don't scare me. I have permanent claims in this area. So why won't you let me take that area? Is it too much to ask? Oh yeah, big difference in war score. Eek. And plus that's extremely high, so that's not going to look good for our allies who have aggressive expansion issues. Revolts also contributed to it. But I need that land, but I guess we'll miss out on that. Now, I guess we'll have to finalize that deal. Even though there's only one coalition that would form, and that's just them, and I don't fear that. Again, we'll suffer between 1 and 75, so may want to begin improving relations with Bengal and possibly Malwa. Now, well, I'm sorry, but that's the way it is. Because we have legitimate claims to these areas. And we'll get them next time. We'll have a big aggressive expansion penalty. It'll cost nothing because we have legitimate claims, and it's going to be a pretty long peace, which will give us time to knock down the smaller nations, which of course wait a couple of years. Please recover, please rest. So, and that's gonna cost you highly for all the administrative tech. But that's the way it's gonna be. gonna come back to bite me in the ass later on, I assume. Now, how are you feeling, all of you? Yeah, the aggressive expansion is pretty high, so... Hey. Let's stick together for a little bit longer, shall we? Now that the war is over. Keep that fort here, because it's useful. And congratulations, you've acquired another pretty developed territory here. Not too developed, but look at Delhi now. Now they'll be dealing with noble rebels for a while. All we gotta do now is just deal with a bunch of separatist issues. Stop marching to Lahore. As for you, head to here. Hang on. This first, and then that, and then that. We'll pick up a few more later. And as much as I want to get this, but I think we should be good, so switch that right now. Need more administrative power to core these provinces. No longer a valid rival. New enemy is Uzbek. So why the hell not? I'll fight them in a humiliation war. But Jayanagar has become an issue because of what they just did to the Bahmanis down there. But we have not completed our mission. We did not give a war reparations to them, nor we sacked their capital. But I still need your help. The miracle of life. In these dark days of war and death, a reminder of new beginnings can ease the pains of our people. Our great Padishah Humayun and his noble Padishah Begum Mumtaz have been blessed with another child. The arrival of the baby has brought new hope and energy to the royal couple, and by extension to their courtier subjects. Many people dream that the child will grow up in a better, brighter future, and all that fighting will thus be worth it in the end. Blessed be Humayun, Mumtaz, and their new babe. That gets rid of that bit of that war exhaustion. Good! Even better. One more month. Give to the state. The nobility and the businessmen are on the side to reward our good governance of resources by donating cash to the treasury, some out of pure patriotism, others in exchange for honorary titles and positions. Oh, yeah. Duh. Yeah, two very expensive advisors that we just appointed recently. Let me see. Spend it generously. There's your prestige that you wanted. And if you wish, mothball the forts if you are so concerned about the income. Or lack thereof. And don't go fighting any more wars for the time being. See? Terrible idea. Khalifa. Yearly prestige up. National unrest down. There's hardly any Shia here, so no reason to enforce religious unity yet. If only. But I'd love to get this too. But we're not drilling it. We're expecting another uprising. There you go. Well, that sets us back. Since we've been expanding extremely aggressively. But we just got short of this. But the next time, we'll be getting all these areas, even though we have no claims. Yes, we do. Even in Patliputra and all the Bahari areas. Just almost united all of this culture. And we'll get a 2. Three years. Oh, yeah. You could be the defender of the faith if you wish to. Be careful. Kashmir, you're next. The Jammu area to be exact, so head to Sialkot. Sufi orders growing in popularity in Varanasi. Some of the more prevalent Sufi orders in Mughals have quickly started to establish themselves in newly acquired Varanasi province. While locals seem somewhat hesitant about Mughal rule, they have embraced the orders. This has greatly eased the integration of the province to our empire. That's the Tiroti separatists. That's going to be a real issue. This is excellent. Reduced unrest means a chance to slow them down a bit. So head to there. There's room for improvement. Also, just in case. Oh, really? 4 fire, 3 shock, 2 maneuver, 2 siege. Well, once we get everything settled and all these advisors that are very, very expensive. In fact, when he passes, then we'll start considering creating our own army. Our 3rd army, which I'll lead personally. That'll do us good. That's not good. The Ming, a very powerful country, decide to take it out on me. You better start nothing. That's all I gotta say to you. Don't start nothing. We'll end the episode soon. Very little. Also, 41% trade power now here, since we obviously. Yes, sir. Move up. No unrest now. Well, we might be dealing with some more separatists around here. So you're being transferred here. You've done well. So please remember, if you have an urge to expand, take out on the little countries. But now, welcome to the Age of Reformation. From east and west, with this age of religious conviction, debates, and mass movements. In Europe, Protestantism is entrenched while millennialism takes hold of Iran, and religious syncretism shapes Indian society. It enables religious conflicts now. What? Who's after you? Bukhara. Conquest to Samarkand. That's against Transoxy. What the heck? The Uzbeks have become Bukhara. Now that's something that we may have to worry about in the future. They do not like us at all because we told them that, well, we're rivals, and we kind of dismissed them, but I realized that they are far bigger than we could have imagined. Yeah, sure. You go right ahead. Anyways, chintz from Multan fetch a very good price in foreign as well as domestic markets lately. So much so that it's given rise to a new generation of entrepreneurs in economic speculation. No, we should step in and eliminate access. Alright, one more. Let me see. House of Worship in Jaunpur. Jain's Delhi, textile manufacturing. Rajputs cover the lands of the Bangladeshi subjects. Integrate them fully. Integrate, huh? What do I get out of that? Mughals will not get diplomatic reputation penalty for annexing Bangladesh. If only Croatia knew that ability. But manufacturing. And we're starting to make a bit of money again, but this is a very expensive investment. In where? Delhi. And building one here. Local goods produced here. Wait. To have any manufacturing. Keyword any. But no, I'd rather have this. Jaunpur. That's over here. Okay, you got it. So, we'll end the episode on that note. Because the next episode we'll be dealing with more separatists. And then we'll be fighting another one of those small wars for more of the Himalayan hills that we have claims to as a way of passing our time until the treaty with Jaunpur expires, and we'll finally defeat them, make them gone for good. And then we'll start looking up to a possible new threat with Bukhara, because they have the manpower. So we should really consider investing, you know, the land force limit, which we have increased it considerably for the defense of this great nation. Whatever you say. So a new power rises because they're taking advantage of the chaos of it. Even though Samarkand's already fallen to Khorasan, but actually, you should take your sweet time just to drill just a little bit. But if any of these separatist rebellions get up to 90%, stop drilling, so they'll be dealt with. So let me look at the piety one more time. 18 right now. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for this episode of our Mughals, which we have expanded greatly. But now it's starting to have a bit of a strain on the economy. And General just died. Isn't he the younger? No. Well, is it time for him to take charge? While we will try to get what little army professionalism up, so that way in the future we will have state farm regiments, which would drill much more faster. Because this army lacks professionalism, and we will get professionalism. And it will deal with a possible new threat up there. Probably beat him in a rivalry war or something. And since the nation's called Bukhara, obviously that's their capital. We have no claims there, but you get the idea. It's just I don't like the fact that they're going to be bordering with us in the future, while we're trying to expand from one part of the sea to the other in future. But we hope you enjoyed this episode, and then soon we'll get a new military unit, and hopefully that, you know, well, since we're going to be far ahead, I mean, they'll be outclassed if we ever come to blows. If we ever to fight a rivalry war against them and whatnot. But we hope you enjoyed this episode, and tune into the next one coming in the future as the Delhi Mughals series continues. But until then, so long for now.